Sky Power FM radio from studios in West Yorkshire Lights. 21:02 UK time. Tonight we'll be talking to panelists from Kombo Sillah Association for the past cultural weekend that passed on the 3rd and the 4th of the month, August. Thanks and appreciations to people who's been there to grace the occasion. Kombo Sillah Association, thanks and praise from Sky Power FM Radio. Mustafa Jame is my name. We'll be talking to panelists from Kombo Sillah Association tonight. We'll try and get hold of the finance director, which is Ismaila Jenkins Toure, alongside Usman Indiana Toure. Mr. Secretary General Mr. Lamin Jame will be online as well to set lights on the issues or set lights on the outcome of the past cultural weekend. Keep it locked to Sky Power FM Radio. Mustafa Jame, my name is. Any minute from now, we'll be talking to Mr. Ismaila Jenkins Toure. Satellite is the Assistant Finance Director of Kombo Sillah Association. Ismail will be over here any minute from now. Keep it locked to Sky Power FM Radio. Thanks for being there. Just trying to get hold of Mr. Ismaila Toure. All he needs is just to accept, and then there we go live on Skype. Ismaila Jenkins Toure. Ismaila, if you just accept the request and then you can come live on Skype Power Radio. Ismaila, hello, Skype Power Radio. Right, Sky Power FM Radio. Tonight we'll be talking to panelists from Kombo Sillah Association to set lights on the past cultural weekend they had. We'll be talking to the finance director, assistant finance director, as well as the public relations officer, Mr. Usman Indiana Toure. I'm trying to ID you on the thingy. If you can just accept it, and then you can come live on Sky Power. Keep it locked. Is if you just accept the addition, it says decline here for some reason. You don't need to decline, just accept it. Osman, Indiana, you might as well be on a standby. We'll try and get hold of Indiana as well. One more time, is Ismail on Sky Power John Second at 10 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock, 2010. Straight trying to get hold of Mr. Ismail Jenkins Tura. He's gonna song sabijin ko lenying ko kalam today. Sky Power FM Radio. We'll be talking to panelists from Kombo Sillah Association for to set lights on the past cultural weekend they had. Just trying to get hold of Mr. Ismail Jenkins, right? Ismail will be setting us through, taking us through the financial bit of it and all the bits and bats. John Seekers, Sky Power FM radio at 13 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Tonight program is dedicated to Kombo Sillah. We'll be talking to panelists from Kombo Sillah Associations tonight to set lights on or take us through the cultural weekend they had the past weekend. And we'll be talking to the Assistant Finance Director, which is Mr. Ismaila Jenkins Toure, and Mr. Lamin Jame as the Secretary General, and Usman Indiana Toure will be talking to him as well as the Public Relations Officer PRO. I'm assuming Ismail is having some, or Ismail is right there. Mr. Ismail Toure online right at the minute on Sky Power FM radio. Ismail, if you want to flip your camera all the way around, please. Yeah, that's it. But that's better. Other way, please. Yes, that's better. That's better. Hello, Ismail. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Not really. I'm having some technical difficulties at the moment.
Right. How about now? Can you hear me loud and clear now?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of, right. Okay, he seems to be struggling there. Right. If you
bear with me 2 seconds, please.
Yes, Ismail, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better now. Ismail, I would like us to, like you, so you are the Assistant Finance Director. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. Assistant Finance Director, Kombo Sillah Association, Mr. Ismaila Jenkins Toure. Ismaila, I would like you to take us through about the past cultural weekend that you had. What was the aim of the cultural weekend?
Right. The aim of the cultural weekend is just to sort of raise fund, but it comes in.
Ismaila, you know, your camera is a bit thingy. You flip it around all the way. Yeah, that's other way. Keep going. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, right. Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better now. Yeah. Ismaila is struggling with the camera there. If you just flip it around, and then we'll be fine and good to go. We lost him. waiting to talk to panelists from Kombo Sillah Association to take us through the cultural weekend they had earlier last week. On the 3rd and the 4th, we will talking to the Assistant Finance Director, Mr. Ismaila Jenkins Toure, Usman Indiana Toure, and Lamin Jame as the Secretary General. Till we get hold of Ismaila Jenkins, we might try Mr. Indiana in about a couple of minutes. Thank you very much, Mr. Lee Boy. Ismaila seems to be struggling still with the some technicalities with the thingy. You don't want to let these Sukuta people let know what's happening here. You know, a few Sukutarians I can see watching right here. Right, Sky Power FM Radio from studios in West Yorkshire. It's Sky Power FM Radio. Good evening, niceness to everyone who's listening at the minute. We're trying to get hold of some of the panelists, one or two of the panelists from Kombo Sillah Association. Mr. Ismaila Jenkins Toure seems to be a bit struggling with the network out there, I would say. There's some issues or technicalities out there. Right, Mr. Lamin, if you could stay on standby, we'll have a word with you to take us through a bit the bits and bats of the thingy, the happenings out there. Mr. Lamin Jame. Sky Power FM Radio. On behalf of Kombo Sillah, we would say thank you to everyone who's been present out there, especially our guest of honors who just crossed the border to come down to the UK. Awesome Book Sky Power FM Radio. Right, Sky Power FM Radio 2022. We had some technicality with Mr. Ismaila Jenkins Toure. Yes, our technocrat is here. He's the main one. He's the Secretary General to Kombo Sillah Association UK, Mr. Lamin Jame. Brother Lamin, good evening to you.
Good evening, Mr. Jami, Skype Radio.
Right. Nice to have you on here. We're trying to get all of the assistant finance director, but we were struggling. So can you take us through what is Kombo Sillah all about, and when did it come into existence, and what was the aim of the cultural weekend?
Yeah, well, Kombo Sillah Association started back in the early 2000s.
Right.
It's been in existence for a good part of 18 years, since obviously the idea came about and those ideas materializing into forming an organization. We started with a very small amount of people, and that grew to what arguably Kombo Sillah Association is arguably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, diaspora-based organizations in the UK. There's been a number of reasons why I said that, but obviously this is a very short program. As you know, the main objective of this program was to actually thank the people, obviously, that made the cultural weekend and fundraising event that just took place in Bristol on 3rd and 4th of August. So effectively, the cultural weekend, this is the second edition of the Kombo Sillah Association Cultural and Fundraising Weekend. The reason why it takes place is to help raise funds for Kombo Sillah Association, so that we can carry out our charitable objectives, because Kombo Sillah is a registered charity, which means we can raise funds to actually carry out our aims and objectives, both in the UK and also in the diaspora. In the Gambia by extension. But primarily, the charity looked after the welfare of, obviously, if you like, the charitable objectives is to actually promote education, relieving of poverty, and promote social cohesion in the communities that our members are. So effectively, to do that, every organization needs funds or needs finances. One way of actually raising funds for Kombo Sillah Association is that through membership registration fees that every member that registered with the association has to pay a membership registration fee of £25. Now that helps, obviously, the charity runs its activities. Obviously, any charity that runs would have overheads and stuff like that, and also, like I said, we organize events like awareness campaign in the areas of FGM and then children's safeguarding and stuff like that. So the cultural weekend effectively was organized to help raise funds for those activities, and this program, I believe, is mainly to thank the number of people that actually were invited as guests, and they obviously honored that invitation and then came and donated very, very generously to the fundraising. So we'd like to thank them, from the second in command of the Gambian High Commission in London, Mr. Khalifa Bojang, who deputized for the ambassador himself, or the High Commissioner, His Excellency Mr. Francis Blaine, who had a prior engagement, couldn't attend the cultural weekend, but the second in command, Khalifa Bojang, His Excellency, attended the two, obviously, Friday night and then Saturday. So we're grateful. We're grateful to our Chief Justice of Honor. We're grateful to our Denmark connection. We had a number of people that are came to answer to the call of Kombo Sillah Association, all the way from Denmark, from Sweden. So we're grateful. We're grateful. We did obviously thank them, but we thought this is an opportunity to actually say thank you very much for making 2018 Cultural and Fundraising Weekend a resounding success on behalf of the trustees of Kombo Sillah Association, and by extension, the general membership of Kombo Sillah Association. Thank you very much, Mr. Jame.
Right. If I may ask you, Lamin, what the funds generated from this cultural weekend? Where are the funds going?
Like I said, I did mention in earlier that any charity you see would have running costs. When you run a charity, you're gonna, obviously incur some costs, and um, like I said, the funds that are raised help run the association. Because if you look at the objectives of Kombo Sillah Association as a charity, is to actually help support um, our members integrate into the communities that obviously they live in. Because if you go somewhere, you want to integrate. You want to be able to settle down, and there are challenges as well sometimes where obviously we will have we grow here, we have families, we have children, so it's difficult sometimes to bring up a family in an environment that you were not born in, you were not familiar with, so sometimes it can be challenging. So Kombo Sillah Association as a charity would support staging events like conferences, so that members can actually find the support. Sometimes that doesn't go without money, and also this is, as I said, this is the second time we've actually organized this event. Last year, the proceeds went to help a maternity ward in Gunjur. So a maternity ward in Gunjur was renovated and obviously improved. So like I said, some of the funds that were raised would help the association carry out its charitable objectives here, and by extension, would actually extend a helping hand to other areas in the Gambia as well. So this year is no different. Again, like I said, any funds that are generated would actually go towards fulfilling the aims and objectives of Kombo Sillah Association, and by extension, supporting an area where we feel needs support. That the little that we can contribute to that, we will do that.
Yes. Coming to that, we might say, like, if you say support and assistance or help back home, that is like Kombo Sillah is contributing towards, nation building as well. So, and then, like you said, you do send or help assistance, to some people or families. Last year was the Gunjur maternity ward. So this year, have you got anything in mind that, or some other associations, or where's the assistance going this year, or if any?
Yes, well, we're still reviewing. Obviously, we're still in, like I said, every time the events take place, we'll out of the proceeds, consider would select a course or an area that they think probably needs an intervention, and we will contribute some amount of money towards that. At the moment, this year, we've identified Tanka mental health facility in the Gambia. So part of the proceeds that we have got here would go to support that facility in one way or another. So to answer your question, this year's fundraising would mean some of the proceeds that we've got from that would go to support that mental facility in the Gambia as part of our contribution to the development aspirations of that country.
That is really a good cause, Lamin, if I may say. And then, but if it comes to it, then, Kombo Sillah Association, you got some people saying this is Gunjur Association, and then sort of thinking, and then if you say charity means it's open for, for as many people as possible. Is that right?
Yes. When you're registered, Kombo Sillah Association started as a normal sort of association like you would have anywhere in the UK, that Gambians find themselves, or even not just Gambians, Africans. All kinds of people, immigrant communities would have come together and form organizations. So Kombo Sillah started with that, and eventually it kind of grew and then transformed into a charity. When I say a charity, it's a registered charitable organization in the UK. So once you are a registered charitable organization in the UK, you're bound by certain rules and regulations that you have to obviously observe. So when I say charity, that's what it means. It means it's a registered, a UK registered charity, which means obviously we can raise funds to carry out our charitable, because every charity would have aims and objectives. So the objectives of your organization is whatever funds you raise or generate would go to actually towards achieving those aims and objectives. So like I said, KSA started like that as a normal organization, and then it actually grew into a registered charity. And it's one of the biggest because we've got over 200 registered members in the association. So yeah, the people must see something in it to actually come together and then be part of it, and we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, that's true. If he said it keep growing, it keep growing, that means people must see something proper or something good in it. That's why people come. So if you want to be a member or would like to be a member, how do we go about this? And who is qualified to be a member?
Like I said, we're governed by Charities Act, which means the charity is open to everybody, regardless of your color or nationality, where you come from. As long as you're 18 years and above, the charity is open. So you can register. You can become a member of Kombo Sillah Association. How you do that is actually go onto our website and fill in a membership registration form. Once you complete that, then the next stage is to actually pay your £25 a year membership registration fee. Once that is paid, then you're registered as a member of Kombo Sillah Association. Like I said, it does not discriminate against anybody. It's open for everybody over the age of 18 years old, as long as obviously you subscribe to the aims and objectives of the association.
Right, good. I think later on, if you have the time, we might need somebody to stick that on the thingy here as one of the comments, to put it down as how to go about the registration, where to go, the web address and stuff like that. Where can we find that?
Yeah, it's easy. Even if you don't know the address of the website is www.ksa- or they call it uk.org. So when you land on there, then you see one of the menus there, membership. So if you click on membership, then that will take you through how you become, how you can just fill in a form. It takes 4 minutes, if that, to actually complete that registration. But if you cannot remember the website address, if you just go to Google and then type Kombo Sillah Association, the first results that will come up would be the website address. So you click on that, and then that will take you to the website. So you can read all about Kombo Sillah Association. If you feel this is something for you, this is, you actually like what you see, then, the tab is there for you to register and become a member. Like I said, as long as you subscribe to the ideals, the aims and objectives of Kombo Sillah Association, then it is open for everybody to become a member.
Right, great stuff. Lamin, you mentioned some of the benefits. So if you want to elaborate on that, the benefits for members and non-members, if you want to elaborate on that, please.
Well, like I said, every charity has objects. And like I mentioned earlier, the objects is to help obviously members integrate and promote, integrate in the societies, the communities where we operate. We operate in England and Wales. So the aims and objectives of the association to actually help members integrate, and we also promote education and community cohesion. So these can take many forms. It's difficult to say specifically what members, what we're going to do for members. But then, obviously, once you're on board, you can actually see what being part of a great organization like Kombo Sillah Association would mean for the members. But the association was based on members, obviously looking after the members, supporting them, integrate and settle into the communities where they are. So basically, Yeah, it is good to be a member of Kombo Sillah Association. So all it takes, like I said, go to our website, and then you'll know all about Kombo Sillah Association. And if you subscribe to the ideals, the aims and objectives, you can just complete the form and register and pay your £25 annual fee.
Right. With the £25 annual fee, what does that cover? Does it cover you alone as an individual, or you and a family member, or you and your wife, or what does that cover?
£25 is per person, per adult. It's obviously, like I said, the membership is for 18 years old. So if it's a couple, then you'll be paying £50, so 25 each. So 25 covers one person, as opposed to a family. So if you have a family of two, then you pay £50. And if you're a family of three, and then let's say a father, a mother, and a daughter or a son, and if that son is over 18 years old and they want to become members, then it will be like three people, will be £75 a year.
Right. If I may call it, it's like kind of an insurance thing, like Kombo Sillah. So it's like if you get registered and you're a member, you are the father and that's the mother, or the woman of the house. So so in case you have something to deal with family matters, do you assist, as this is a paid up member, you help with family matters as well? Like if
Well,
family have
I wouldn't call
something.
it an insurance. I wouldn't call it an insurance. It's not. I mean, when you say insurance, I think that is we're not an insurance company. We're a charity, like I said,
Yeah.
with our aims and objectives for actually promoting education, community integration and social cohesion, and this can take different forms. What I can say is that when you're registered as a Kombo Sillah association, we kind of what we will do is actually be there for our members. So how do we do that? Is if our members are briefed, and if basically anything should happen to our member, as an organization, we will make sure we're there for them, to give them every support that we can. And it's difficult to actually quantify this support, because each case is actually dealt with on the basis of the case, so based on merit, basically. So it's difficult to say what you're going to say until you're actually presented with the situation. So as a member of Kombo Sillah Association, as a paid up member of Kombo Sillah Association, then the association is duty bound, as part of our social the social dimension of the charity. The trustees will meet and then see how best we can support that member or that family the best we can. But I wouldn't call it an insurance policy, because KC is not regulated. It's not regulated to do that. We're just a charity, like I said, with aims and objectives of actually promoting education. Like I said, helping our members integrate and support them in whatever way can, within the resources that we have.
So, what do we expect next year? Is it happening?
Well, yeah, the idea is that it's an annual. It will be an annual event. This is, like I said, the one that's just gone is the second edition. The previous KSA trustees must be commended, because they started this in 2017, I beg your pardon, and they worked really, really hard. They put together a team of actually organizers that actually pulled up a very, very good, cultural weekend in 2017, and the proceeds of that went to support a maternity ward in the Gambia. Again, the same trustees put a team together again for the 2018 cultural and fundraising weekend, and again they pull up a fantastic event. So we would like to thank the KSA trustees who have actually worked really, really hard in moving KSA from where it was a few years ago to where it is today. It stands at a much better position today than it did a few years ago. So we're grateful for that. And because obviously the last two events were a success, a lot of people want to have it done over and over again. So inshallah, plans are already on the way for the 2019 Kombo Sillah Association cultural weekend, cultural and fundraising weekend in 2019. So inshallah, it will be happening, and plans are on the way to make sure again it gets even better than this year.
Better and bigger.
Yes.
Right. Any final thoughts, Lamin? What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's just this is more like to thank our members, because this wouldn't have been success without the members, because it's the members that come out, in their large numbers. They took their SOBs and then they paid the gate fees to get in, and that alone would not have been successful if we weren't for our supporters, our sponsors, our donors, who, like I said, come all the way from Denmark, from Sweden, so we just cannot thank them enough. We have people from Newcastle, Bristol. So really, this is just to say thank you very, very much for your generous donations to Kombo Sillah Association Cultural Weekend. And I just want to close by thanking, like I said, the trustees that actually made it all possible, the general members, the sponsors, the donors, and everybody that's done one way, that basically one way or the other contributed to the success. Not forgetting the Gambian High Commission in London, who have actually sent in their deputy in command to come and be part of the cultural weekend celebrations and fundraising. He spent Friday night with us, Mr. Khalifa Bojang, or His Excellency Khalifa Bojang, and then just stayed the night in Bristol, and then was at the park where he kicked off the Babakar Jatta, aka Bonene Memorial Football Tournament as well. In Bristol on Saturday after the cultural weekend night. So so we're very, very grateful to everybody, all the members, supporters, donors, like I said, for making the 2018 cultural weekend resound a success.
Right, Lamin. On that note, we'd like to thank you so much for being there. Thanks for your time, and then we'll set it down there for now, and then try and get hold of the Public Relations Officer, Mr. Usman Indiana Toure, if possible. Thanks for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, that's a pleasure. Yeah.